fellowship we had with him.
Yes,
last week.
Yes, I was happy that most of this discussion we had it last week.
Yeah.
Even though I was so happy that we didn't do it live, because if we had that conversation live, it would have been deep as it was. Yes, so it was. There are a lot of deep things we discussed last week, which we didn't put it live, and I'm happy that we had those discussions last week. It was so rich and impactful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for yielding, sir.
I was more blessed, so I should be thanking you, sir.
All right. Thank you. So we are still on the topic, the Christianity and politics, the role of believers in nation building, and the big questions that we've been deliberating on is: will the believer be part of politics?
Yeah.
And what are the rules? What are their roles in nation building? What are the rules in the believers in politics, and what are they allowed to do? To what extent are they supposed to go as a Christian, and to what extent will they have? I know everything that has boundaries. I mean, talking about boundaries. So, what an extent should they go as a believer, and what an extent should they not go as a believer? So that's actually the discussion, and I don't know. Also, Yeshua, I don't know if you want to share.
I just want to tell people, please, you can join the conversation wherever you are. The number to call in, tell us what you think about the believer's role in politics. What do you think a believer can do in politics, even beyond voting? What do you think a believer can do? Please drop your comments on Ifako Radio. The social media handles, Facebook, X, WhatsApp channel, TikTok, and Instagram, Ifako Radio. Instagram is on Ifako_radio, and the number remains 09122227433. 09122227433. Very easy number to remember. Please drop your comments. What is the role of the believer in politics, even beyond voting? God bless you as you join us.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, and the beautiful thing is that our boss is active, very, very active in politics. And from the discussion we have, understanding the deep things that I don't even know about him before. You know, like him be so active. I don't know that he was that active in politics. And the fact that it's rare to have people that don't compromise, and the fact that is a Christian, and over time he has been maintaining that standard and has not compromised.
I'll say something funny. The fact that he's a pastor, though he doesn't like to the fact that God has called him. But wonderful.
Yeah. So sir, I would like you to break that ice for us. At what extent can a Christian be in politics? Yeah, what are the boundaries, and how far can they go? Christian.
Thank you so much, man of God. Just as I stated earlier, it's an honor to be on your program, and I will continue to pray for more fire and more power by His grace. Yes, I'm not a pastor.
That's escaped again.
God help us all, so that we can all make heaven by His grace. Talking about boundaries, if you ask me, there's no limitation. We only need to be very determined and decisive. Getting started with having our PVCs, because that's the primary thing. We need to have our PVCs. A lot of Christians are now on the social media making one comment or the other, criticizing and condemning, but that is not all we need to do. Yes, we can criticize constructively. If we see something, we should say something. And most importantly, we must be able to do something. Because the good people that fail to cast their votes are the bad people that put bad leaders in government. That is why we need to get our PVCs, so that coming the next poll, we can cast our own vote. And we need to consider so many things while doing this. As a Christian, we should also be involved in community development association. If we look at all communities, charity, they say, begins from home. If you really want to add value to the nation, what are they doing in your streets?
In your community.
What are they doing in your community? What are they doing in your local government? Are you playing any significant role? It is not all the time we have to take the back seat, because Jesus Christ didn't take the back seat. Even when he was a teenager, he was there going to study some things, understanding some people, and at the same time adding value to the teachings as and when due. So our time will come, but all this time will not come and meet us in the corridor of our rooms. We should get started with CDA. Some people will say, I'm not a landlord. It is not a must you become a landlord before you add value in your community. Some landlords in Lagos are very redundant. And I want to believe that it is also applicable to Nigeria at large. We have so many tenants that are more vast, more responsible and responsive. So we are the soft of the world. And a city set on a high cannot be hidden. So it is expected that we should come out, play necessary roles. And that will even give us necessary exposure, and we can also be identified by those in position of power. When they see us adding value in some little areas, they can call us, you can do better in this regard.
It also provokes them to good works themselves.
Definitely.
Imagine a citizen who has no political office becomes up and doing in the community, and maybe even gets to the point of fixing a particular part of the road or doing something, establishing an organization in that community. The politician gets provoked, like, what's really going on here?
If an individual is doing this, then what is the role?
Oh my God!
You know, this thing hit me differently. Actually, me and that I have that wrong mindset before now. That you know, any area I live on, I hardly come out. If I'm going out, then maybe I'm going to do something. I'm coming back, I'm coming inside, and I will never step out until I'm going out again. And I don't even know anything that happened in my street.
So you know what? If anybody is doing that in the church, we won't like it.
Yes.
We don't expect anybody to just see the church. You come to pray and you disappear.
But from your talk now, I learned that I'm talking about politics. I need to start from my area I'm living in, the community, and also create an impact there before we can even talk about the bigger thing in politics. So someone may be listening to us, and this may be your story. You know, you feel that, okay, you're a believer, I don't have any issues with anybody out there. But it doesn't stop at not having issues with anybody out there. You need to go out, step out,
actually
affect lives. And
I want to just say something. While we're talking, an idea came to my heart. I just want to say it up to you. Imagine if a group of citizens gathered and formed an NGO. This time not for the motherless, not for the widows, and that's very good. But this time, imagine they gathered for community development. Imagine an NGO in almost every local government area where you're able to carry out things, where you're able to talk and partner with certain companies and certain people who are interested. They're not in politics. It's not about my pocket. But then an NGO is set up, and then better roads, good water, and whatever is needed in every community, you just go around and you're able to fix it. I don't know. So is that even?
Yes, it is allowed. As a matter of fact, I think talking about community development, there is a recognized body, the CDC, in all local governments, Community Development Committee, and if we break it down at each specific jurisdiction, they have their CDAs headed by the chairman, and I think it is 14 executive members that comprise of an ESCO of each CDA. Unfortunately, you see, they get compromised because of, if you look at it, you see a lot of politicians within the system. And when I say politicians, those that are not development minded, because that is the essence of coming together. Where coming together is to achieve a particular goal for the purpose of everyone. But I don't know if we can get some heavenly minded citizens that can come together and will not have any affiliation with the government. It is allowed.
It's very possible.
Yes, it is possible. It is possible. And if we can get started with that, The government itself will know that no,
We're serious.
we need to be
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good move. It's a good thing. And I want to ask concerning all of that before, let's push it before we say come back, because I still want to ask some question on this the local government and the community, all of that. You know, a lot of us, from our view, maybe because of the way we view things, and which that's why we need all this kind of information to change our mindset concerning these things. Because most of these people, when they gather, you see that they project drinks and alcoholic and all of that, and because of that, some people shy away from identifying with them. You know, when those local government or those people gather, like this CDA and all of this, they gather. You know, you see that a lot of them, you see them drinking alcohol and smoke and all of that, and because of that, some people find it hard to begin to identify with them. So, what do we do about that kind of situations? Now, there's a community meeting they used to have. Usually they have reached out. My brother is playing a very vital role in this thing. He has reached out to me severally. I told him I am busy, and I've not even joined one day. And you know, those kind of things, if you see the meeting, you see where they will line up drinks and all of that.
Because of
yeah. So because yes, I don't like those things. And so in that kind of situation, what do we do? What do we do to how do we blend?
Jesus didn't come for those that were saved. He came for those that were still wandering out there. So if we look at it, coming from the area of evangelism, we have a serious role to play in that regards. If you are not with them, how will you be able to influence them? That doesn't mean we are going to condemn them. We only need to get close, see how we can assess them, identify their weakness, the points where we can use to actually penetrate, and see how we can convince them. And they also need to see us in our own reform as well. And if we stay afar, there's no way they are going to see us in our own reform. So when we get close, we try to talk to them. We preach the gospel. Even, you see, talking about politics, if we look at it, that there are some people who are in the world, they are doing this, they are taking our drinks, they are smoking. In our families, don't we have relatives that drink and smoke? And we are not going to say because of that we are going to deny them, or we're going to join them. That is it. Definitely, by His grace, we are not going to join them.
So we keep a certain distance.
Definitely, there will be a boundary. But nevertheless, we must see how we can relate with them. That is when we can introduce who is inside us to them. So we need to bridge that gap.
So it's an opportunity for light to shine.
Definitely.
That's so beautiful.
Okay, and it's beautiful. This actually sorts this.
Especially
my heart. This actually answered it. All right. So another one. So as a believer, how do we know the right people to vote into power? Now, this has nothing to do with a political party. And is it okay for a believer to be in a certain political party? And if you are in a certain political party, does it has to do with who you vote with as a Christian? Are those questions?
If I may answer that. One, we should get started with asking ourselves, if this person were to manage my family, my business, my church, will I trust this person with such responsibility? We should transfer the same thing to who we want to settle for. Now, as a partisan politician, as a Christian, definitely you must have a political party. And the reason why you must have a political party is because you cannot be a floating politician. You must be associated with some people, with an organization.